BBC. All stations, please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes.
Alligator clips.
I love WEGs. WEGs are the coolest. Hello and welcome to the Hackaday Podcast. I'm Elliot Williams.
And I'm Christina Panos.
This is episode 269. 3D printed Flexure WEGs, El Cheapo bullet time, and a DIY cell phone sniffer. This week in Hackaday News, we have announced the winners of the Home Sweet Home Automation Contest. Let's see, the first three winners of this get a $150 gift certificate from DigiKey. Thanks, DigiKey. And the first three winners are, two of them are just insane, over-the-top home automation projects, which, you know, I definitely see why our judges picked them, because, you know, they're both outrageously well documented. And the first one is a SCADA version, so it's like this industrial supervisory control and data acquisition thing. And because of that, it's got, you know, designed from the ground up to be collecting the data all the way. And then at the very top, there's this like fantastic display kind of aggregation of everything. And all of the different parts can interoperate and control each other. Just really super. The little lower level of it all is made with Arduinos and kind of normal stuff. It's not made with necessarily fancy commercial automation stuff, but it uses the kind of ideas and frameworks from commercial automation in a home system. And that's just really amazing. That was SCADA Smart Home by
Stefan Schnitzer.
And next up was a long-running project now, the Home Automation System by Bernard Kerkenere, which is kind of accumulated over the last 15 years. It's really pretty cool, but it's got a huge rack where everything's all patched together and et cetera, et cetera. It's got 30 sensors, 8 thermostats, 29 lights, 3 dimmers, 17 wall sockets, 6 blinds, 2 electronically locked doors, and a garage. Speakers, amplifiers, the whole darn thing. Like, I don't even think I have this much electronic stuff in my house, and he's got it all under control. And last, coming out of nowhere, is the world's cutest pill dispenser robot, which is just like in stark contrast to these other two, which are like super mega scale. Is this little sweet pill dispenser robot from Marcus Bindhammer that just sits on your desk, smiles at you, and dispenses pills. Lovely. Just lovely. And we also got a bunch of miscellaneous projects in the honorable mentions categories, and they're all really sweet too. Smart ventilation, water heater automation. The hands-free chess clock is debatably home automation, but it's pretty awesome anyway. The judges loved it. It's a OpenCV chess clock, so you don't have to hit the button. It can tell when you've moved. And I guess if you play chess a lot in your house, that's home automation, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, some cool data aggregation ones and a underfloor heating controller, which will fit our retrofit category because the existing warm water underfloor heating system was not electronically controlled, and he's spliced this in to control all the valves and stuff and make it more efficient, but put it under central control. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. So
This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by. Hello. Excuse me, hello, and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. For May 8th, 2024, it's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general. And thankfully, we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie, and my name is Daron. Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November. I am this evening's net control. This evening, we'll be taking your comments, questions, check-ins, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. You can contact us at elmer@w0tx.org. On most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to view and participate in the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, for the call sign at least, please try to use ITU phonetics and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. You can follow along with the check-ins if you'd like, w0tx.org/check-in. With that, we'll start taking check-ins. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now. This is K1DBC Net Control. One more call. If your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Alpha Fox 0 Alpha, Alpha.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. AF0E Alex, thank you so much for checking in. We're taking call suffixes. We do take third-party check-ins if you'd like. If you're listening in and you're not a licensed operator, but you're nearby someone and you'd like to check in, we're taking call suffixes. The suffix is the letter after the number in the call sign. We're taking call suffixes A through M, Alpha through Mike. Please check in now.
K5 AFO, Kilo 5 Alpha Fox Oscar Ben in Aurora, no traffic.
All right, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K5 AFO Ben, thank you so much for checking in. We'll go ahead and open up for the whole alphabet. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. If you'd like to check in just for the count or if you have any traffic or questions, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
November 0, Mike, Tango, Lima, Micah, and Thornton. November.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood, with traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins: N0MTL Micah, N0TRP Jim, and KE0SUM Jonathan with a question.
Whiskey Hotel 6 Alpha November Hotel, no traffic, short time.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Carl, I got you checked in. Short time Whiskey Hotel 6 Alpha November Hotel. Thanks for checking in. Maybe haven't heard you here on this net for a while, but great to hear you in there. ANH, Carl. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right, maybe as the school semester starts wrapping up, it's getting a little bit quieter here, but glad to hear everyone as usual. We have 7 check-ins so far. Really do appreciate that. We have an hour. This is an hour-long meeting, general Q&A about ham radio STEM topics and any questions you might have or projects you would like to bring forth here. We have Jonathan, KE0SUM with traffic. We'll come back to here in a minute or so. But anyone else, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check in just for the count or if you have traffic or questions, please call now.
W0 CIB, W0 CIB, Charles in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
This is Kilo Echo 0 Alpha Bravo, Ken in Lakewood, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. There was a double in there about 30 seconds ago. I think it may have worked itself out, though. We got WD0CIV Charles, KF0FPI Ron, and Kilo Echo 0 Alpha Bravo Ken. Thank you all so much for checking in. If you didn't hear your call sign and you did try to check in, please try once more.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Bravo Alpha Kilo, KF0 BAK, David in Lakewood, no traffic.
KD0UKR/AG, that's Kilo Delta 0, Uniform Kilo Romeo, Brandy in Arvada, no traffic.
W0TX, repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. Let me see here. We had, let me see. If I didn't call it, KF0 FBI Ron, KE0 Alpha Bravo Ken, KF0 BAK David, and KD0 UKR /AG Brandy. Thank you so much for checking in here. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comment or check-ins. We're taking all check-ins, all call suffixes, all call signs. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Nothing heard just at the moment. This is an hour-long meeting. We have another 50 or so minutes. We have SUM Jonathan who brought up a question or comment, so we'll throw it over to him. There'll be opportunities to check in officially throughout the net, but if you don't hear anybody talking and you want to check in, or if you have a comment, please don't hesitate to chime in. Let me see one more time. We'll take this opportunity for check-ins. If you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please check in now. All right, nothing heard just at the moment. We'll throw it over to Jonathan, KE0SUM. The net is yours. Go ahead.
Good evening, Drone and the group. It wasn't so much a question as something I had learned the other day. I'm sure you're aware that MFJ is going out of business slowly, but you're definitely not going to have much MFJ around for very much longer. So I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and the presenter, and he's a popular radio host. I've even met him down at HRO before, K8DMR or something like that. But I'll have to pull it up. But there's a company called Intellatron, and Intellatron with an I. So if you look this up on your Google, it comes up and suddenly you're presented with a whole mass of things that look just like MFJ products, because MFJ was obviously outsourcing, but so a lot of products that MFJ won't be selling, Intellatron will be selling, and I believe at the bottom of the page they're teamed up with DX Engineering. So I was just putting that out as the general ham radio knowledge. KE0SUM, back to that.
Very cool stuff there, Jonathan SUM. Yeah, as we discussed last week, MFJ is ceasing on-site production, so we had a pretty good discussion about that last week. So good information about Intellatron. They may have been outsourcing. It looks like they're available through Gigaparts, at least. It looks like maybe so. And it looks like it was a KM4ACK that did a video on that too. Yeah, that looks like a pretty good outlet for products that you might have come to know under the MFJ line. Pretty similar, it looks like, potentially as well through Intellatron.com. So thanks for the follow-up on that. Anything else on that, Jonathan, or anyone else? Go ahead.
WD0CIV. I got two other places you could look.
Yeah, WD0CIV. Charles, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned Gigaparts. That's one of them, and then the other one is DX Engineering. They also are they're handling on the linear amps and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think their prices are a little higher than what they used to be in the past, but that's with everything, you know. Anyhow, that's all I have. This is WD0CIV. Turn it back to net control.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, dxengineering.com, it looks like as well, maybe another partner as well. So really do appreciate that. So really good stuff there. DX Engineering, it might be a little bit of a markup, unfortunately, on some of the equipment, but unfortunately that is, as per usual in today's numbers. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that or anything else at the moment, please call now. All right, appreciate the follow-up there. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, as mentioned, MFJ is ceasing on-site production as of May 17th. They'll still be able to provide a little bit of a backlog of stock and support as well. But get in there now while you can on the MFJ website officially. And otherwise, either Intellatron, DX Engineering, or Gigaparts might have some things going forward as well.
I have another question, Drone.
Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. KE0SUM, go ahead.
To ask before I forgot it, but Brandy came in tonight, and after her call sign, she used a couple other letters. Now, as I memory recalls it, that might mean she's got her general, but I'm not sure what exactly she said, so I was curious. Can you elaborate, Brandy?
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yes, I had tried to quickly find that out. She had mentioned /Alpha Golf. Alpha Golf, you must use the special identifier after a call sign if you're a technician class and have a general class operator privileges. So I was trying to look up on the ULS website if maybe she hadn't gotten upgraded. But Brandy, UKR, if you have any other follow-up on that, go ahead. /AG, go ahead.
Yeah, I tried to respond, and I had switched to my A channel instead of my B channel. So here I am. But yeah, that's exactly what that is. The AG is acting general, and I don't need to use that on VHF or UHF, but I'm proud of it. So I'm throwing it out there for a couple days anyway. Yesterday I signed up to take my general online, which ended up being a really cool process, and I took it with the ham radio crash course folks through ham study, and there weren't any test sessions coming up for a few weeks, and I wanted to knock it out, so I went ahead and signed up, paid my $15, and got my general yesterday evening.
W0TX repeater.
Randy, let me be one of the first to congratulate you that actually HRO has a testing on Saturday starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. But I'm glad you got it. You'll have a lot of fun with your general.
Thank you for that. A lot of sessions were on weekend mornings, and that's when I make my money. So I wouldn't be able to make the weekend ones. That's why it was just kind of tough to find one that was going to work for me, with so many of them being on the weekends. And I would highly recommend the online scenario to anybody who wants to just knock a test out real quick and not have to worry about transportation or, I don't know. It was just a really easy process. KD0UKR.
Yeah, this is K5AFO Ben. Aurora, also like to have my congratulations. It's fairly recent myself, did the test, and well done. It's worthy of congratulations, and look forward to perhaps hearing you on the HF bands also. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that. Back to net control, KD0UKR.
Excellent. Sounds good. Thanks. Appreciate that, UKR, for bringing that up. And absolutely, yeah, I was meaning to bring that up earlier. I couldn't verify it on the ULS website. But yeah, all congratulations are due in order. The general and technician tests are about, 200-something questions, and then doubles that for the extra, and maybe double those numbers there. But awesome. Congratulations. Did they encourage you maybe to take the extra exam as well? Go ahead.
Yeah, they did ask if I was ready to take the extra, and I knew that I wasn't, and I didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't want to put myself in the position to try it and then be disappointed. I want to go into any sort of an exam. That's just the way I always roll with exams. I want to go into any sort of test knowing that I'm going to ace it. So that's what I'll do. And it'll be a while before I get my extra, probably a couple months. It took me 11 years to go from technician to general, mostly because of, just life happening and, not being on the air for a number of years and that sort of thing. But I am looking to get on the HF bands, and I wanted to get my test taken. So you should be hearing me on some of those pretty soon. I wanted to start doing some Parks on the Air activations, and I have a radio picked out, and I have an antenna system picked out. I just need to save my pennies and get to building some stuff and go from there. Back to net control, KD0 UKR.
All right, excellent. Well, sounds good. Absolutely. More privileges, more options out there. So, yeah, great to hear. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, anyone else on license testing, preparation for testing? Hamstudy.org. It's a great resource for not only studying, but as well finding sessions. And, through the pandemic, that really forced a lot of institutions, including ours, to do remote sessions and exams. So, really awesome to hear. Some free, some not. There are charges through ARL and not through others, but a lot of options nowadays. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that, please call now.
Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, Ken, Alpha Bravo, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought I heard Brandy say that if she did get on the air, she was not required to use the stroke AG, just out of curiosity.
So my understanding is that you're not required to use the /AG unless you are using your general privileges. So if I were to get on HF right now, then I would be required to use the stroke AG. But on UHF, VHF, with those being tech privileges, I'm not required to use the stroke AG.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's what I thought. But the VHF and UHF, no need. But when you get on the HF bands, you would have to do it. Okay, thank you, Brandy. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo. Back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I have no idea on that, but I'm looking at something I'm reading here. Until the FCC database is online, it's just good to know. Let people know that you do have a general class license, but once it's updated on the ULS website, I'm not too sure you have to use that anymore, but I could be wrong about that completely. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. And anyone else on using the AG Alpha Golf suffix, please call now.
Well, Brandy restudied for this test, I believe, and got the rules down to the letter. I'm pretty sure that's one of the test questions at some point in my life. But Very good.
Fair enough. I guess I'm looking at it right here in my face. Let me read that off here. Yeah, I guess the answer is whenever operating using general class frequency privileges, people will look you up. Let me see. The exact rules are for control operator has requested a license modification from novice or technician to a general AG. So yeah, I'm not too sure, but I really do appreciate that. You're probably a lot more clear in your mind about those rules and regs. So very cool stuff. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I can bring up a little bit more information about the testing a little bit, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's net? Please call now.
Yeah, K5 AFO. I have a question. I'm not sure if it's been covered in the last couple of weeks, but I'm interested in the Denver Radio Club if they're doing a ARRL Field Day event this year. I'd like to get involved. I see on the website there's information about last year's or the year before. Anyway, just putting that out there. Back to you.
All right, great question there, AFO on Field Day. Yes, last week of June, we do participate in it. It is not necessarily coming down to the wire, but we've usually prepared a little bit more, a little bit earlier on in the year. Let me drop here for a moment. We have a gentleman by the name of Dick. I am blanking on his call sign at the moment, unfortunately. He coordinated Field Day last year. We really just need to get him back in the fold and really set up probably a committee to help plan and prepare this upcoming Field Day in a month and a half from now. We do still plan on having it, but it takes a bit of a coordinated effort, and we're running a little bit late this year, but we still do plan on having our Field Day up at the Prospect Arena in Arvada. So not a lot of information right now, but we do still plan on having it, but still a lot of preparation needed for that.
Yeah, K5AFO returning. Yeah, thanks for that. Well, I'll definitely put my name down to help in some way, shape or form. I'm wondering, is it a 48-hour session, or is it an overnight? Do people camp out, etc.? Over, back to you.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Just to give credit where credit is due, Dick Nelson, N6WHV, November 6 Whiskey Hotel Victor, has helped plan that previously. It is a 24-hour event. Will usually operate beginning Saturday at 12 p.m. and end on Sunday at 12 p.m. So there are operations in the evening. When we met a few years ago in the mountains, we had a little bit more people camping overnight. This is more of an equestrian arena, so there's not a lot of overnight activity, but it is a 24-hour event, and if people do want to operate over the evening, they're more than welcome to, but 12 p.m. Saturday through 12 p.m. Sunday is what we would normally operate.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. I'll keep an ear out and keep an eye out on the email, etc., and see when the calls go out for names to assist. But definitely like to get involved. Back to you, Jerome. Net control.
All right, sounds good there. Really do appreciate you bringing that up. AFO. Yeah, it's the time is coming, and we definitely need to start preparing for that. So thanks for the reminder. We have our upcoming some committee meetings coming up here, so we'll try to remind everyone involved, and we'll try to get stuff set up and get emails sent out and things over the nets, and make sure that we get more people involved and get things involved. So yeah, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, I do appreciate that. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, Dick Nelson, really do appreciate his help in the past. And we'll try to get him back in here and get things going here. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else on field day operations or planning and preparation? Go ahead. All right, very quick to on the on field day. On our operations, we'll usually run 3 alpha. We'll usually run 3 stations, several different bands. Upcoming this year, we'll be doing pretty much the same thing, but in past years, we've been having some technical issues with some of the stations working over each other. So we have some pretty cool technical preparations for this to be able to use diplexers, a lot of different things there, and I can't remember exactly which, but basically using one single antenna for at least 3 different bands. So that is something we're going to be trialing this year, is being able to use one antenna on 3 different bands. So hopefully we'll be able to bring out less antennas and equipment and be able to operate just as much in the past. So yeah, this is K1DBC Net Control. Really definitely appreciate everyone's help in the past who's been able to help with that. But it takes some effort. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else, field day or anything else at the moment, please call now.
This is Q1 Mike 4, Charlie Fox, Tango, Jonathan in Highlands Ranch, no comment.
KM4, CFT, Jonathan, got you checked in. It is 8:02 p.m., so I guess we'll take this time to take check-ins. If you're just tuning in, let me drop here just for a moment. This is K1DBC Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie. I'm this evening's Net Control. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics, and this is a great place to learn about it. We have a lot of experience and expertise. So if you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio, STEM topics in general. If you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We have another half hour. Appreciate everyone checking in here so far. Let me drop here for a moment. So far this evening, we've talked about Jonathan KE0SUM has brought up, as we mentioned last week, MFJ ceasing on-site production. So he and others brought up Intellatron products, either sold through DX Engineering or Gigaparts. So some pretty good alternatives for MFJ. We are also congratulating Brandy KD0 UKR for getting a general upgrade. So awesome to see that. Really always great to hear when people upgrade their license and get more allowances out there. So really cool stuff. And then we were just talking about Field Day, June, last week in June. So, last weekend. So this year it's going to be June 29th and 30th, Saturday and Sunday. Dick Nelson N6WHV is the field day chairperson. So we are starting to get him back more involved and get field day planned for this year. So, yeah. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I guess quickly going back to the FCC exams. This is K1 DBC Net Control. So in terms of licensing and taking your tests, things like that, there are rote methods. It's memorization. This is a hobby of engineering and electrical RF engineering. You could go to school for 4+ years to learn all this. You can also cram for an exam and get your license. So there are a lot of different methods for studying. The technician and general, there are 35 questions in total. The question pool size is around 450 for both of those. And you only need to get 74% correct on any of these tests. And then the amateur extra is 50 questions. The exam pool is 2/3 greater, so 622 questions. But a lot of the questions are asked kind of in reverse. The question will be the answer will be the question, things like that. So if you ever feel comfortable taking your exams, just try for the next one up, and just know that a lot of memorization will get you through them. You only need to do these tests once, so get them out of the way, and then spend the rest of your life kind of understanding the engineering behind things. But to each their own, and take things at your own pace. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Just some stats on ham radio license test question breakdown.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
Hog in the air. I've come across a little piece of software that works very well with my my setup, and I wasn't sure if this was the appropriate medium to share it, but if you like, I can. But it's your shout. I don't want to say anything I shouldn't over the air. Back to you.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. I may have just doubled over you just at the beginning there, but you had mentioned AFO, some piece of software that works with your setup. Not a problem at all. This is a great place to bring that up. KF0 AFO. Ben, go right ahead.
Yeah, okay. It might be old news to a lot of you. So the software is called Station Master, and it's being put together by a UK ham, and his call is Golf 5 Sierra Tango Uniform. Golf 5 Sierra Tango Uniform, and his name is Stu. Anyway, he's a code developer, and he's building this as a hobby basically. But I've got it set up, and it's in constant development. There's regular updates. You can use the free version, or there's a paid version which helps him pay for the servers and things he has to use, but it links into your radio. It's hard to describe. I expect I need to drop the mic. Yeah, I think we're good. So if anybody is interested, have a look for Stu. G5STU, Station Master. As with all these things, he's on YouTube as well, and I've got it running with my Mac, and it links to my radio. It's a beta version for version 2, but the version 1 is out and up and running. Yeah, if you want to try something different, have a play around, and it's a complementary kind of logging tool with other things. So logbook, the XCCs, activations, PSK reports, the Lightning, and it links into QRZ.com. Anyway, that's probably enough of that as a sales pitch. Back to you, Drone.
All right, sounds good there. Not a problem. K5AFO, not a problem at all. Station Master by G5STU. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of products like that. So this is another product, it sounds like, another good complementary product to tie into some of your logging contacts and some of the things like that. So, yeah, really cool. Station-master.online. It looks like maybe some pretty good information about how to download that. But, yeah, really cool stuff there. I'm trying to bring up some other information. But anyone else or... AFO, Ben, go right ahead.
Yeah, AFO returning. I can see on the DRC YouTube, you're flicking through the Station Master bits and pieces. I mean, all these things, not everybody's cup of tea, but I found it very useful and very interesting. Something to sort of practice on trying to get my radio connected. And using a Mac, there's always challenges. I think the main focus for him was on the Windows setup. But yeah, if anyone's got 10 minutes, have a look at some of his YouTube videos and get a feel for what it does. And yeah, it's worth a go. And I will keep playing with it and look at the updates, and it feels good. It seems to suit my way of operating, but again, it's personal choice. Right, I'll leave it there on that. I don't know the guy personally, so I'm not. I don't have any any investment in this, but there's a very good free version as well as the paid version. I'll leave it there.
All right, sounds good there. Yeah, I was trying to find some information. It was a little bit sparse, but looks like it's web-based kind of logger as well. So a little bit a better kind of kicking off point there. So pretty cool stuff there. This is K1DBC Net Control. Again, yeah, station-master dot online. Call sign G5STU. All right, very cool. Yeah, half the time it's playing around with this stuff really is getting it set up, and half the fun is getting these things to work. So a lot of cool tech, really cool stuff there. So yeah, appreciate that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I wanted to welcome an online check-in at KS0E. Alex, thank you so much for checking in here. All right, anyone else at the moment? We have 15 minutes. If you have comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We have another 15 minutes. Comments, questions, anything else for this evening's Learning Net, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC. I'm trying to see if I have anything I can bring up. I'm sure there's plenty of information to bring up, but comments, questions, check-ins, anything else, please call now. Let's see. I guess I'll maybe start to read out an article or two here. We'll start to wind things down. But if anybody has comments, questions in the interim and nobody's speaking, let us know. But I'll read out an article here, spending an hour in the Virtual Radio Museum. Let me drop here for a moment. Hackaday.com, an article, again, spend an hour in the Virtual Radio Museum, written by Al Williams on May 6th. You have an hour to kill, and like you, old communication technology. and you like old communication technology, excuse me. If you happen to be in Windsor, Connecticut, you could nip over to the Vintage Radio and Communications Museum. If you aren't in Windsor, you could watch WG7D's video tour, which you can see below. The museum is a volunteer organization and is mostly about radio. Although we did not spy some old cameras, if you like that sort of thing. There was also... or they did spy some old cameras, excuse me. There was also a beautiful player piano, now runs from a vacuum cleaner. One notable piece of gear was an old tube tester of the sort you used to see in pharmacies, and the guide mentioned that they have 100,000 tubes in storage. If you're a ham radio operator, you'll appreciate the vintage code gear and teletypes. The amountage of old gear here is impressive, including unusual record players, movie theater projectors, and lots more. The guides are clearly not used to having someone like WG7D in the museum, as they explain things like Morse code and magic eye tubes. If you happen to be in the area, it'd be a real tour, better than video. But virtual video here on their YouTube, WG7D.
W0TX.
We got the ticket
Repeater.
machine, we got the popcorn machine, the film.
Strip of film.
So there was an incredible amount of here, and they love to get their hands.
Oh, yeah. Kids and knobs.
All right, so I was just playing a brief audio there from that video. So it's an hour and 15-minute long video. Really cool. If you're interested in looking at vintage gear and things like that, there's quite a lot here. Electromechanical, electrical engineering, a lot of photograph, and lots more different equipment here.
Been using this for about 50 years. And they've got to throw it
Hey, I
away.
recognize
Said,
that one.
No, we don't use it.
All right, so watch that in your own time. Again, on his YouTube, WG7D. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comments, questions, check-ins? I'll see if I can bring up some stories here, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Anything else at the moment? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Another article here. We don't really have to get into the depth of this too much, but Guglielmo Marconi, his shame, why Italy has forgotten the iconic founder of wireless communication. Bit of a controversial story here, but it's always good to remember history and understand the history as it was and not rewritten. Marconi, the legendary Italian inventor of wireless communication, the man who connected the world, is not celebrated as he should be because of his politics. As Italy marks the 150th anniversary of his birth, it may be time for the nation to finally come to terms with Marconi, the inventor and the entrepreneur, and let go of the fact that he was a member of the Fascist Party. So we don't talk about politics or religion. I at least try not to bring any of this kind of stuff up here on this net. But we are all engineers, citizen scientists. But Marconi, he joined the Fascist Party in 1923 and continued to have relations with Mussolini until his death, Marconi's death. A choice of his made it objectively complicated to celebrate him, all the more because his birthday. Well, it feels like a joke. It coincides with Italy's Liberation Day. How can one celebrate a fascist on the day that commemorates liberation from Nazi fascism? It's not possible, and in fact, no celebrations have ever taken place. So that's all that I'll read on that. I don't want to get too much more in depth on that, but Guglielmo Marconi, why Italy has forgotten the iconic founder of wireless communications. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We have another 10 minutes We're taking all comments, questions, check-ins. Try to lighten things up here a little bit, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, let me see if I can bring up anything else here. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll see if I can bring up some other information, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. Wikipedia article here titled Radio Caroline. It's a British radio station founded in 1964 by Ronan O'Reilly and Alan Crawford, initially to circumvent the record company's control of popular music broadcasting in the UK and the BBC's radio broadcasting monopoly. Unlicensed by any government for most of its early life, it was a pirate radio station that never became illegal as such due to operating outside of any national jurisdiction. Although after Marine and Broadcasting Offences Act of 1967, it became illegal for a British subject to associate with it. I think eventually it was kind of brought up into professional radio broadcasting and was eventually made legal. But a pretty interesting article here on Radio Caroline.
Break in?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Ben, K5AFO. Oh, blimey, I used to listen to Radio Caroline as a kid, and my parents would say, go to bed, turn your lights off. If you're unless you're reading a book, well, but I'd be under the covers listening to Radio Caroline. Oh, dear. There's a good movie about it as well. I think it's called Rock the Boat, or Who Rocked the Boat, something like that. It's a Hollywood thing, you know, that well, British Hollywood. Yeah, brings back a few memories. All good fun.
All right, thanks there, AFO, Ben, for bringing that up. It looks like the boat that rocked is the film there. So, band of rogue DJs that captivated Britain, playing the music that defined a generation and standing up to the government that wanted classical music and nothing else on the airwaves is the tagline there for that film. So, yeah, really, really cool stuff there. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have another 8 minutes. Anything else you'd like to bring up? Projects, comments, anything else? Please call now.
That was a fun movie. You know, it's definitely an underdog movie, and it has to do with radio, and it really was pirate radio, I guess. And it made me think of back in I think the late 80s, there was a film with Christian Slater as a teenage pirate radio operator. The name of the film was Pump Up the Volume. And so I just thought I'd throw that name out there, too, because that's what came into my mind, KD0UKR.
Very cool, UKR Brandy. Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. I'll have to look both of these up here. Pretty cool stuff. Really do appreciate everyone's follow-up there. A lot of good nostalgia. And before the digital revolution, it was radio was a whole different thing. So this is very cool stuff here. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, thanks there, Ben and UKR for follow-up. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right, this is comments, questions. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Getting distracted by quite a lot of things playing on my screen here. Comments, questions, check-ins. We have another 5 minutes. Anyone else for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control again. I'm getting confused there. I think maybe Alex put something in there. Good, yeah, great. Two films there. He mentioned there, The Boat That Rocked and yeah, Radio Caroline. So very cool stuff there. Anyone else? We have another 5 minutes. I can bring up some club business. Plenty of stuff to cover. Our website's not updated just yet on some of this stuff. But anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
FBI.
KF0 FPI, Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, Daron. I got a question for Jonathan, SUM, if he's still on the airways.
Yeah, FBI, KE0 SUM, if you're still out there, we got a question for you. KE0 SUM, Jonathan, are you still out there?
I am. I thought he was looking for the other Jonathan.
I apologize. KM4CFT, can you go ahead and verify, or excuse me, FPI Ron, can you go ahead and verify that call sign you're looking for once more?
Yeah, I said SUM, but I guess I should have said KE0 SUM. Jonathan, last week you were talking about MFJ ceasing to manufacture, and you had a chat with your work friends or the manager or whatever, and you said 28,000 pieces were sold. Was that out of the Denver hub alone?
That's a good question. Yeah, it was like, he said there are 28,500 pieces of MFJ sold, but I'm guessing that's from all 12 stores. But, I mean, Denver alone sells a lot of MFJ products. But yeah, I bet it's from all 12 stores. That's still a lot of MFJ product.
No, I didn't know if that was nationwide or just your store, because that is a lot of stuff. And, man, your new pretty catalog that came out from HRO, half of that's MFJ, and if when they run out of stock, it looks like we're going to be, somebody's going to be saving a lot of trees, which I really hate to see, but I think it was a great product, and sorry to see it go. This is KF0 FPI.
Well, thinking about it, I work there 2, sometimes 3 days a week, but I fill web orders and also take phone calls and then answer customers' questions. Yeah, walk-ins, but yeah, there's no way in Denver we sold that many pieces of MFJ.
Very good, Jonathan. I just thought I'd ask that. I wasn't totally clear. We're going to see you at lunch Wednesday.
For some reason, I thought that it was this Wednesday. If next Wednesday, yeah, I had doctor's appointments today.
Well, DRC got us on the master calendar. We're it's always the Wednesday of the Wednesday of the Hamnet where we have where they do they do it on Daron, help me. What do we do that on now? It's a pretty cool one next Wednesday, but it's always on that Wednesday, the Education Net.
Yeah, correct. So it's the third Wednesday of the month, meeting at the Valley Inn at Jewel and Wadsworth, 11:30 a.m. Loose-knit group, you get together and, get to wear that badge you got at the ham radio convention so everybody knows what your call sign is.
No, Jonathan and Ken and myself, we all met originally in October of last year. That was our first meetup at Carmine's, and we switched to Valley. I think Valley's a great menu, and if 2 guys show up or 12 guys show up, they could accommodate us all. So we just hadn't seen you in a while. I thought I'd ask.
Not a problem. It's on my calendar, and this week was a little too busy with doctor's appointments, but I'm free. I hope to be over. Thanks for asking. K0LSUM, back to you, Daron.
All right, sounds good there, Jonathan, FPI. Yeah, Valley Inn Restaurant, third Wednesday of the month during the same Wednesday that we have our meeting and Elmer session. But this is taking place, again, as you mentioned, 11:30 a.m. Around 1997 South Wadsworth Boulevard in Lakewood. So, great to hear that you all are continuing that tradition. So, if you are available and you want to meet up with them, again, third Wednesday of the month, 11:30 a.m. Around Jewel and Wadsworth.
I'll have to mention, like you said, we did make the Denver Radio Club's newsletter. So, we're apparently getting bigger. That's what I hope.
Yes, good segue. W0tx.org for more information on our club. A recent roundtable, as mentioned there, informal face-to-face, as we mentioned here. So no reservations are required. You don't even have to be a member of the club. Please feel free to stop by. All right, we'll start to wrap things up here. I'll put it out here in just a minute for any last-minute comments or questions. But last-minute things here for our club. DRC Saturday events. Next one is May 25th. We haven't done this before. Pico Balloon Balanche. It's a small balloon similar to the size of a party balloon. It will have a small solar panel and radio transmitter attached. The whole assembly weighs only a few grams. After launch, its voyage will be tracked via a radio receiver. Some of these balloons have been known to travel several times around the Earth. It's very possible, depending on weather and other factors. So more information and the launch location will be determined as we get closer to the date. So May 25th. Look forward to that.
How big is this balloon?
Pico. P-I-C-O. There's probably exact specifications, but Pico balloon. I'm sure there's probably some exact specifications, but several grams, but very, very light weight to just carry the load and some APRS things. But anyone else on that? Go ahead.
W0TX repeater.
Yeah, Daron, thanks for relaying that information. Yeah, the Pico balloon project is only designed to last 4 hours, generating vertical profile data and then falling back to Earth.
Fair enough. It's not one of your larger weather balloons, so yeah, we'll see how far it goes, but it'll be with the first one we do, so we'll see. It'll be trial and error, and we'll see how far we get with this one. So really cool. Appreciate that. Next Wednesday is our meeting, the 15th. 6 p.m. is our Elmers session, and then 7 p.m. is the meeting. I don't think the website's up to date yet, but we do have a presenter scheduled. So look forward to that on our website, w0tx.org. Will be updated before that occurs. It is 8:35 p.m. Anyone else? Last minute comments, questions, check-ins, anything else for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. On our YouTube, I'll be playing just a few minutes of a Rocky Mountain PBS Cable Revolution series here. Pretty cool stuff. And then we'll close things out. But on the YouTube, again, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. On most social media at Denver Radio Club. We do appreciate everyone who's able to check into this net and continue this net. We had a total of 14 check-ins this evening, so really appreciate everyone who participated. And I'll start to hopefully put notes together a lot better than in previous nets this year, but really do appreciate everyone who's checked in. And next week, again, w0tx.org for our Elmers session and our meeting at 7 p.m. So w0tx.org for more information on that. With that, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I will go ahead and close out here, 7-3, and I will be clear. Good evening. Thank you all so much for participating in this evening's Learning Net. All right, thanks everyone. This is Colorado Appearance on PPS. We'll just play a few minutes and wrap things up.
In the business, and he did that through grit and a lot of hard work.
Bob Magnus was a really great, humble guy. He had been in World War II, and that's where a lot of the cable pioneers who started the industry came from. World War II veterans who were looking for new businesses, and a lot of them were engineers, so the whole idea of radio and all of that was stuff that they were familiar with.
I've always been very interested in ranching. In fact, sold cattle to buy the first load of cable. We built the system largely in weekends at first, while I had another job, and Betsy, of course, was our first office manager, and our office was our kitchen. And we had something over 600 customers before we had an office.
I remember TCI really started when I convinced Bob to move to Bozeman, Montana. And Bob bought the Bozeman property, decided he wanted to expand, and did two things. He put together a microwave company to interconnect systems and went on an acquisition binge.
We sort of ma and pa. We weren't the first, but we stuck in there and added a little bit each year.
He was a mentor, he was a father figure, he was a leader. He covered all the bases. You didn't work for Bob, you worked with Bob, literally. A story was told about Bob. They were in Bozeman, Montana, and they had an outage, and Bob was out there with the technician. And the technician took a connector and cut it off and threw it out in the field. And the guy came down from the pole. Bob says, "You got $1?" And the guy says, "Yeah." He said, "Well, give it to me." And he handed Bob a silver dollar. Bob threw it out in the field, and he said, "That's just what you did to me. You just threw $1 away." So he was very close with the buck.
And Bob could squeeze the last drop of blood out of you. He was one of the smartest financial guys. He could read a financial statement quicker than anybody.
All right, everyone, check that out on your own time. Colorado Experience, Cable Revolution. Hour and a half documentary here about early telecommunications days.
A skill which was constantly tested by an array of businesses lined up against the cable companies.
Here's a list of our